Hello students, welcome to online course of Mechanical Measurement and Metrology. Myself Abhishek Trivedi from Mechanical Engineering Department at LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. We are discussing measurement of the screw thread and gears. In the previous lecture, we have started the second portion of the chapter, that is the gear measurement, in which we have covered the basic concept of the gear, introduction about the gear, then a basic classification of the gear according to the forms of profile. We have discussed cycloidal gear profile and the involute gear profiles. The particularly cycloidal gear profile is further subdivided in the epicycloid and hypocycloid. Then we have discussed a basic terminology of the gear tooth profile, which defines the technicality of the gear profiles. We have discussed pitch point, then pitch circle diameter, module, addendum circle, dedendum circle, face, flank, top land, and so on. We have discussed so many different terminology which are directly affecting, or we can say which are directly define the gear profile itself. Today we are starting with the basic concept of the measurement of the gear tooth profile. First of all, we are going to discuss a conventional gear vernier calipers, and then we are moving on the advanced measuring instruments. So let us start with the basic concept of the gear tooth vernier caliper. The topic shows tooth thickness measurement using the gear tooth vernier caliper. The figure shows a basic constructional features of the gear tooth vernier caliper, how this caliper work and how the caliper has been designed. We are going to discuss each and every parts one by one. First of all, let us understand the name of the instrument that is the gear tooth vernier caliper. Underline the word vernier caliper. It means it is directly follow the principle of vernier principle. It is useful as a vernier caliper, conventionally vernier caliper. Suppose you are making a cutting section. What you are supposed to do, you are cutting this particular portion and remove this top portion. Suppose you have removed this particular portion, then the bottom body of the instrument is directly performed as a vernier caliper. As you can check, in the particular vernier caliper we have one fixed jaw, we have one moving jaw, we have one main scale, then the bracket for the auxiliary scale, we have the different locking screw for locking the auxiliary bracket, we have the fine adjusting screw for the measurement, and this is the basic conventional setup for the vernier caliper. What we have added? We have added the same portion in the vertical side as well. It means we can say that we have club, or we can say we have make a fusion of vernier caliper plus vernier height gauge. What we have done? We have simply make a combination of vernier caliper and the vernier height gauge. The vertical body shows the concept of the vernier height gauge, in which the main scale is there, auxiliary scale is there, the two locking screws are there, fine adjustment screw is there, then a particularly over here this particular rectangle section, it shows the basic jaw which is moving in the upward and downward direction as well. Fixed jaw is same for the vernier caliper as well as the vernier height gauge. Moving jaw is also same for the vernier gauge and vernier height gauge and vernier caliper. Now what is the basic requirement behind this particular measurement, or we can say behind this particular instrument? Suppose I have the two teeth on which I have to do the measurement. I have to do the measurement. What is my basic requirement? I have to measure the, let's say, width of the teeth. I have to measure the width of the teeth. This is the teeth. I know my writing is very good, so I have to measure the width of the teeth. What I am going to do, if this particular, let's say, vertical body is not there, then I will take a simple vernier caliper. I will put the vernier caliper, the one jaw of the vernier caliper is placed like this, the another jaw of the vernier caliper is placed like this, and I will perform the simple reading. Suppose this is the vernier caliper and I will do the reading. Then once the reading has been done, I will took this reading, let's say R1, any of the reading is there. Then I'll simply rotate the gear teeth number 2 will come into the picture. This is the teeth number 1, the teeth number 1 is passing the particular vernier caliper, and the teeth number 2 will coming in the teeth number position of the teeth number 1. Now let's say this is the teeth number 2. Again, what I'm supposed to do, I will perform the same reading. I'll get the reading of, let's say, R2. But there is a one drawback. Suppose the thickness of the teeth number 1 is, let's say, 4 mm, and due to some error the thickness of the teeth number 2, let's say 6 mm. Then what is happening, if I have fixed this particular setup, then the vernier caliper will not getting inserted. The vernier caliper can be restricted over this particular height. Instead of getting down, it is restricted to particular height. You can check from the figure, this we have made a height difference. And suppose the another teeth having a very less thickness, let's say 2.5 mm thickness, then there might some chance that your vernier caliper will move drastically inside the body of the teeth. You can check this from the figure as well. This is the difference. So you are supposed to find the width of the teeth, but at what height you are supposed to find the width of the teeth, you have to define. And for defining such method, for defining the height of the particular gear teeth at which I am supposed to find the width of the teeth, then to define this height I have required this vernier vertical setup. What we are supposed to do, suppose this is our basic teeth profile, then first of all I'll define the height, let's say below 1.25 mm. I am going to take the reading. So what I am supposed to do, I will set up the 1.5 mm by decreasing this particular vertical jaw below 1.5 mm and fix the scales. It means I am fixing the vertical setup of the vernier caliper. Once the teeth has been inserted to the vernier caliper setup, the vertical jaw will directly make a physical contact with the top of the teeth. And once this particular physical contact has been generated, we can say that the end of the tooth, will making a height difference from the top to the end of the tooth will be, let's say, 1.25, because we have already set it this particular difference of the height. So by providing the vertical jaw, you can make sure that the particular depth at which the width is going to be measured, we are defining the depth value. So this is the basic requirement of the vertical setup in the vernier caliper. Now let's say what we have to do, we are taking a simple cross-sectional view of this particular setup and we have made a zoom view. Here O, that is the center of the gear, A and B are the end points of the profile, E, that is the point on the circle, that is the E, D, that is the point on the matting circle, the total width which is going to be measured, that is the W, and the total height, that is the D height. What we are supposed to do, we are going to measure the width at the depth D. So to find the value of the W and D, we have to derive a basic equation. We have already derived a basic equation. The equation shows the value of the D, and by taking the value of the D as a reference, we are supposed to measure the value of the W at each and every teeth. And if each and every teeth, the value of the W, or we can say the width of the teeth, is same, then I can say that the gear profile is exact, the gear profile is accurate. Now let us understand a basic concept. We have a gear. Suppose I have gear, the gear having number of teeth. Suppose this is the gear having the n number of teeth. If the gear having the n number of teeth, then I can say that the gear having n number of space as well. This is the gear space, this is the gear space, the space. So I can say that the particular gear has a n number of teeth as well as it has the n number of tooth space as well. I can say that, yes. Suppose I am adding this, then I can say that the gear have 2n number of different division. Each division shows the value of the width. Now suppose this particular portion, suppose this particular portion shows the value of n, then if I have to make sure that if I have to do this particular setup, then what is the length, or we can say what is the dimension of A to E? I can say that A to E, we have how many number of A to E in the whole gears? I can say that I have 2n times A to E into 2. I have total 2n times AB, but particularly AB is equal to twice of AE. So I can replace this particular term over here. I can say that this is the total radial periphery covered by the gears. Now if I have to measure the particular angle theta, what is the value of the theta? How can I measure the angle? I can measure the angle that, suppose in a whole gear we have the total angle 360 degree, and to cover the 360 degree we have the total peripheral value 2 times AE into 2n. Then I can say that we are using a basic mathematics that for the angle of 360 we have the radial cover of 2 into 2n into, let's say, AE. Then for cover the angle of theta, what is the peripheral value of the AE? Then make a subject AE as a subject, AE into, let's say, 4n into theta is equal to 360. Make AE as a subject, this is 360 by theta. I can write this as a very basic concept. I hope you have properly cleared the concept. Then if I have to find the value of W over here, if I have to find the value of W, then what is the W? W is equal to AB. Now what is the AB? AB is equal to twice of AD. What is AB? AB is equal to twice of AD. I can write this. I know the value of theta, we already discussed that the value of theta, that is the 360 by 4n, where single n shows the teeth space, single n shows the teeth thickness, and we have defined this particular as a, then what is the theta? Theta is the 360 by 4n, where n, that is the number of the teeth. Now we are going to derive the basic equation for finding the value of W and equation for finding the value of D. What is the value of W and what is the value of D? From the formula we are going to discuss the value of W and D, then we are setting the value of then we are setting the value of D in the vernier tooth caliper, and then we are going to measure the value of W and compare that whether our design is follow the exactly manufactured part or not. First of all, let us consider the triangle ADO triangle. Make your attention on the screen, the triangle A, triangle D, triangle O. This is the triangle ADO, where this is the theta. Over here we have the right angle triangle. We know the value of W, that is the twice of AD. Then what is the AD? Use the basic sine theta. What is the sine theta? Opposite side upon hypotenuse. Make the subject AD. AD is equal to, over here, this is the AO sine theta. So I can replace the AD as a AO sine theta. So W is equal to twice of AO sine theta. Now what is the value of theta? We already discussed the value of theta. Do remember this, the value of theta, that is 360 by 4n. So I can replace this particular value 360 by 4n. So I can write this twice of AO sine theta, where theta is equal to 360 by 4n. Now what is the value of AO here? This is the center of the gear, and the point on the periphery of the, or we can say point on the circumference of the gear, it shows the radius. What does it show? It shows the radius of the gear R. So replace the AO from the R. I can write this as a small w is equal to twice 2R sine 360 by 4n. Now what is the module? We already discussed that module is the pitch circle diameter by number of teeth, where pitch circle diameter is taken in the mm. I know that diameter is the twice of radius, divided by number of teeth t, or we can say we are supposed to replace the t to n. So I can write it as a 2r of n. Here we have the value of 2r, so I can make the whole setup in the single equation. This is the suppose module m, then make the subject r, m n by 2, nm by 2, r is equal to nm by 2. Replace the r is equal to nm by 2 in the main equation of w. The w can be reduced to w is equal to nm sine 90 by n, 490 360. So I have make cancellation. So w can be written as a nm sine 90 by n, where n number of teeth, m module of the gear, that's it. So if you know the value of number of teeth and you know the value of the module, then you can define what is the width at the particular depth d. Now we are going to discuss the particular depth d, how to calculate the value of the depth d. From the figure, first of all let us consider the triangle. To find the value of the d, here this is the value of d. You can check on the screen. You can check on the screen what is the value of the d. This is the d, the depth. Now how to define the depth? So from the figure, if you have to find the value of depth d, this is gonna be the depth d, the distance c to d. I can write this, that the total height is the combination of two heights. I can write this, so I can say that what is the total height? Total height, that is the OC. OC is a combination of CD plus OD. I know the value of CD, that is a d. Make the subject as a d, so I can write it as a d is equal to OC minus OD. I can write it as a d is equal to OC minus OD. Now we can also write that it as a the total height. Again, the total height can be further divided in the combination of two heights. This is the first height and this is the second height. This particular second portion, the point on the center of the gear, and this is the point on the circumference of the gear, the point E. So I can write it as a OE plus EC, that becomes a OC, where this particular portion is known as a radius R, because this is the point on the center of the gear and this is the particular point E is the radius of the gear. This is the pitch circle, so I can say that the top radial distance above the pitch circle to the top of the teeth, that is the addendum. And for ideal addendum, for ideal gears, we are taking addendum is equal to 1 module. Do remember this, addendum is equal to 1 module. So I can write it as a OC is equal to OE plus EC, where OE, that is the R, and we know the value of the R. R is equal to nm by 2. Replace the R is equal to nm by 2 plus EC, where EC is equal to addendum is equal to 1 module. So replace all the terms. Then what is the value of OD? Consider the triangle AOD. Consider the triangle AOD. Consider the triangle AOD. This is the R. Then we can say that this is the component of the cos. OD is equal to R of cos theta. Replace the value of the OD in the main equation. Then the equation of the depth can be reduced to nm by 2 plus m minus nm by 2 cos 90 by n. If we are taking the nm by 2 as a constant, then the d can be written as nm by 2 as a constant in bracket 1 plus 2 by n minus cos 90 by n. So guys, this is the value of the depth d at which we are supposed to find the width of the gear profile. This is the basic concept of the gear tooth vernier caliper. I hope you are properly cleared about the concept of the vernier tooth caliper and how it is work. Now the next, that is the very basic method, is a tooth thickness measurement using the constant chord method. First of all, let us understand what is the constant chord, and then we are going to discuss a brief idea about the measurement of the constant chord method. Constant chord, the chord joining those points on the opposite face of the tooth which make a contact with the matting teeth when the center line of the tooth lies on the line of gear centers. First of all, let us understand the particular figure. The figure shows a basic rack profile of the gear tooth on which point A to B are the basic points. Point A to B are the basic points, or we can say the opposite points on which the constant chord has to be find. So the width, or we can say the distance between A to B is known as the constant chord. Consider the arc PF. What is there? We have this setup. Here we have F, here D, and over here you have value of the P. I can say that the PD is equal to PF, because if the angle is very much small, then I can say that we can eliminate the concept, or we can eliminate the effect of the arc. So I can say that PF is equal to PD, and the arc PF itself is a 1/4 of the circular pitch. Now what is the circular pitch? Suppose this is the basic gear profile. The point on the one tooth, the same point on the corresponding tooth, this is the circular pitch. I can write this as a circular pitch CP. If I am making a bisection, a proper bisection, then this is gonna be the half of the circular pitch, CP divided by 2. If I am further bisecting the gear, and if I am going to measure this particular value, then this is going to be the CP by 4. And what is the PD? PD is this particular portion. So I can say that PD is equal to PF, and arc PF is equal to 1/4 of the circular pitch. We know the circular pitch. What is the circular pitch? That is the pitch is equal to pi d upon T, or N. We can say number of teeth. We can denote by N or a T. D by N, diameter, the ratio of the diameter to the number of teeth, it becomes the module M. So the equation can be reduced as a pi M by 4. Now I have to find the constant chord, or we can say I have to find the length AB. The length AB can be written as a twice of AC. AB is equal to twice of AC. If by anyhow, if I can measure the value of AC, then I can replace the value and I can find the constant chord length AB. So from the first triangle, consider the triangle APD triangle. From the figure you can check the triangle APD. Make the subject AP. AP is equal to PD of cos phi. We know what is the value of the PD. PD is equal to pi m by 4. So replace this as a pi m by 4 cos of phi. Again, consider the opposite triangle, triangle PAC triangle, where AC is equal to AP of cos phi. What is the value of AP? I have already find. Replace the value pi m by cos phi, pi m by 4 cos phi into cos phi. It becomes pi m by 4 cos square phi. Now I know the constant chord length C is equal to AB is equal to twice of AC. I know the value of AC. Just replace it. Simply we are supposed to get the value C. C is equal to pi m by 4. Sorry. C is equal to pi m by 2 m. Sorry. C is equal to pi m by 2 cos square phi. And C is known as the constant chord length. So guys, over here we are winding our lecture. What we have discussed today, we have started with the basic concept of the gear tooth vernier caliper and how it is useful in the mechanical industries for the measurement of the different parameters of the gear tooth. We are supposed to find the width of the particular gear teeth profile over the particular depth. Then we have discussed a basic concept of the constant chord and how the constant chord can be find out. From next lecture we are going to discuss basic errors which are generated in the gear profile, and then we are going to discuss the Parkinson gear tester. Probably in the next lecture we are supposed to cover this particular chapter. Till then, thank you.